What's up, y'all? It's your boy Jay Bass with darklightsounds.com. In today's video, we're going to be going over how to use parallel compression on your drums. All right. Now, do me a favor. Take 1 second and hit that like button on for this video, and also comment. Any comments you have, or anything else you want to learn how to do. I'll make a video for it, and then also subscribe to the channel. All right, it helps build the channel up. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show y'all how to use parallel compression on your drums. And first, I'm gonna explain what parallel compression is. What parallel compression does for drums is it makes your drums louder and more crisp, helps it to cut through the mix better. All right, but let me go back right quick and let me explain to you really what compression is. Compression or compressor is what is used to do is used to make your sound like louder or softer. All right, or if you want a more of a I think that's, I want to say a multiplied effect, but actually no, it just makes it either louder or softer. Okay, now I know you hear the word compression, so you think compress, like to make it softer, you would normally think, but it's used for more than just making something softer, but it also can be used to make things louder as well. All right, so, and you all will be able to see that because actually I'm going to make the drums louder in this mix, louder and a little bit more crispier, where it's going to be able to cut through the mix better. All right, so I'm going to show you. I'm going to play this beat that I actually made. Kind of just threw it together right quick for this video. So I'm gonna let you hear it right quick, and then we're gonna go into actually doing the compression process. So here we go. So as you can hear, it's a pretty decent beat. I like it. So now if you listen to the drums now, the drums, they're cutting, but not cutting as much as they actually could. Okay, so the way to solve this problem is to use parallel compression. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go and I'm gonna open up the compressor, and I'm gonna link all of the drums to the compressor track, actually the bus track to the compressor track. So let's do that first. That's the first thing you want to do, is link your drums to your bus 2, which I actually have a bus 2 track. So I'm gonna link it to that. With my snare here, hats, boom. All right, and then I'm gonna do after that, I think that's it. Okay, and make sure that your drums are, let's see, I need to have them connected to the master track. Let me make sure. Well, I actually have it hooked to my music track for the video. So really, yeah, your drums will stay connected to the master. Let me see that. Yeah. So I got everything going to a different track for my music. For the video, you see my speaker, and then I got my music here. So, but if you're making your own beat, on your own without doing a video, then all of your tracks is going to be linked to your master track as well, unless you're just having it go to just the auxiliary, you know, your bus to your auxiliary, then that's different. Okay, but in this case, we're doing drums to the bus to go to our parallel compressor. So try not to confuse y'all. So in this case, it would normally go, all your drums would go to your master track, but in this case it's going to the music track. All right, but let's go to the compressor, and I'm gonna open it up, and I'm gonna go to what's called a fruity limiter. You can switch it from a limiter to a compressor. So that's in FL Studio, of course. So there's a limiter right here, and this is a compressor. All right, so we have our compressor here, and what I'm going to do is let me explain what these different knobs do. Okay, so you have your gain knob. This just increases and decreases the volume. All right, you have your saturation. This can give you some slight distortion. That's what saturation is. It's just a little slight distortion. And then your threshold, this right here is going to determine how much the compressor is going to compress. So this is like your base compressor to level of compression that you're going to have, how much you're going to have. Then you have your knee. This kind of fine tunes it, how much you want it to compress. Like you just need to bring it up a little bit, you know, or bring it down a little bit. That's your knee. And then this is your ratio. Also, it's the same thing, but it's not as detailed. I should have showed you this one first. So the ratio can either make it louder or make it let it compress less, or let it compress more, like that. Okay, so let's say we had the ratio all the way down. Okay, and now this is where your knee will come in. So if you look at the ratio, I have it all the way down, but you notice there's still a slight space between the threshold and this ratio here. So the knee can fine tune it. So we can bring it all the way down to where it's fully compressed to however the threshold is, okay? Or we can bring it up a little bit. You know, maybe we want to adjust it up, compress a little less, maybe something like that. Maybe open it up. You see what I'm saying? So we just like fine tuning it with the knee and the ratio. Okay, that's all it is really. Okay, all right. So that's what these buttons are used for. I'm gonna reset them back to where they was. Let me just hit reset. I think it's all set, reset, and reset. Okay, all right, here we go. So then now you also have your attack. Your attack, the more you pull it up, the slower it's going to actually react to the sound of whatever you're compressing. Okay, so the further down it is, like right now, if you have it all the way down like that, then it's going to attack immediately. And that's what you want to have on drums, because drums, they hit really fast. It's a certain type of sound, I forgot what it's called, but they hit the sound comes in, hits real fast, and then leaves real quick. Okay, it's not like let's say like a flute or a saxophone or a piano. It kind of rings off, you know, it lasts longer. But a drum is just like a hit, like a pop, 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 pop. So you need a compressor, you need a decompressor to react immediately. So that's where you want a fast attack, usually on your drums. And the release right here, what it does is this determines how quick the compressor is going to release after the initial attack. Okay, so the compress, then release, compress, then release. Okay, so the more you have this up, the slower it's going to release. So it'll attack, but it'll release real slow. Okay, then if you have the release all the way up, let's see, all the way up like this, or down, actually not up, but down, then it'll attack and release real quick. Okay, so I'll say with these drums, you want more. I would say you want more of a slow release, not a quick release. All right, so so that's primarily the knobs you're gonna use for your drums. We won't really go into the noise gate right now. That'll be used for something else. More, I usually use the noise gate for like vocals, you know. So I'm not doing a vocal tutorial right here. So let's see. So let's go ahead and actually compress these drums. All right. So I'm gonna play the beat and we're gonna start the compression process, the parallel compression process. Here we go. So let me explain what I just did. So you see these troughs here. So what I did was I moved the threshold first down to the level how much I wanted to compress, right? Then what I did was I moved my ratio down. Boom. Then I also moved my knee down. So it can compress completely, just as much as all the way thoroughly, like how I have the threshold. I want it all compressed completely like this, okay? Because I kept my attack all the way down so I can attack immediately, and I kept my release slow, so it's really not gonna release at all on the drums. All right. So okay, and then the next thing, the last thing I did was I raised the volume up on the gain. So what I do is however much I compress the highest trough down, like I got my threshold going down from here to here, I kind of move my gain up that same amount. All right. So, but you still got to always use your ears. Okay. That's the thing. Never just not use your ears. You got to keep using your ears, keep listening. All right. So that's what I did so far. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to raise the volume of this compressor auxiliary track, and then you're going to start to see the increase in the volume of the drums, where it's going to cut through the mix better, a lot easier. Now you'll probably think, well, why don't you just turn the drums up instead of doing all this? Well, the reason why you don't want to just turn the drums up, because what's going to happen is, and this from my own experience of listening and trial and error, what's going to happen is that if you just turn the drums up, you're going to have kind of like some impurities in the sound. So this is where the compressor comes in. What it does is it compresses down the sound to get all of the impurities out, so you can get just the actual pure sound of the drums. That's where this threshold comes in. It's compressing it down, right? Compressing it down with the knee and the ratio, doing the same thing, right? Then I raised my volume. Okay, so first compress, then we raise the volume, because now we have the pure sound. So now we raise the volume of the pure sound. So now we get a better, cleaner, crisper sound. All right. So now we're going to increase the volume slowly. Now that you understand what I just did. All right, here we go. So you hear that little subtle difference in the volume now. Now the drums is actually cutting through without actually distorting the mix. Okay. Now here's something else you can also do as well. It's the same thing as a compressor, but on your kick. If you want your kick to punch even harder, what you could do is you can also open up what is called a fruity soft clipper. All right, same thing. It's another form of a compressor. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna set our threshold, bring it down some. Right, gonna raise. Let's see. Let's hear what it sounds like first as I'm doing it. So now I did that. Now I kind of lowered it. So now this is what I'm gonna do now. After I lowered it, let me put the touch. That way it'll stay up. So now I lowered it. So now what I'm gonna do is gonna open up the kick here, and I'm gonna go into this wrench tool, and I'm gonna just increase my volume now. So if you notice, the volume of the kick is not going past the 0 up here. It's actually way below. I think it's about 6, but the volume still got louder. Okay, because we compressed it some more with the soft clipper, just the kick itself, and then we raised the volume within the actual plug-in with the wrench tool. All right, so we just raised the volume right here, and that's it. So the wrench tool, then volume, and bam. And you can make your kicks more punchier if you wanted to, you know. And that's optional. It's not mandatory or nothing like that. Just something extra you can do if you want that kick to really cut through. And also, so along with the compressor, you want your drums to cut. So just do the same thing that I just showed you. All right. And that's pretty much it, you know, for how to use a compressor. And then I showed you the soft clip as well, you know. So, but like I said, and every time you're mixing and, you know, adding effects or whatever to your mix, always be listening to the mix, you know, even though they have visuals to show you what's happening, always use your ears too, because that's what's most important, is what it actually sounds like. Okay, so other than that, like, subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, and other than that, put your comments down, you know, what you thought of the video, anything else you want to learn, and that's about it. All right, so it's your boy Jay Bass with darklightsounds.com. See y'all in the next video. All right.